Welcome to Failure to Stop's Friday breakdown, and boy, do we have a banger breakdown for you today. It's a hostage situation where a female has to discharge her weapon in the way of a hostage taker, but does she flail and smack the dude, or does she hit the hostage? We're going to break it all down today. This case coming out of Salt Lake City, and then I have another case for you, a twofer on this Friday. Are we live? Am I here? No, I'm not. I'm actually on an airplane currently. While you're watching this, I'm on an airplane flying to Michigan to hang out with the famous Mike the Cop for the weekend and to actually do some content with Mike the Cop. So a lot of cool stuff happening this weekend. You're going to want to follow us on Failure to Stop Instagram, Facebook, or the Eric Tansey official Instagram page to see all of the cool stories and stuff that I got going on in Michigan with Mike the Cop this weekend. It's a reuniting. It's a reuniting of myself and Mike, and it is going to feel so good. Today's show is brought to you by Pig Latin, a seriously funny, true story. Right now, the book for pre-sale is only less than 1,000 away from being the top pre-sale book for the year, and it's a law enforcement book. And I'd also like to point out that it's one of the very first that I know of law enforcement books that Simon Schuster has actually got behind, which is one of the top 5 largest publishing houses. So this is like a once in a lifetime book deal. And we really want to show out for law enforcement. They've chose this book, one, because it's absolutely insane. It's hilarious. It's crazy. It doesn't matter if you've been a cop for 30 years, 1 year, you're just trying to become a cop, or you're a civilian. This book is going to make you laugh. It's also going to make you cry a little bit. The attorney that read the book for the legal read said that one of the chapters titled Thirsty Lieutenant, is one of the best chapters in a book he's ever read, because he said he could feel he hasn't had that much hate for characters since Game of Thrones. This is a book you're not going to want to miss. So head over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. The book releases on August 25th, but we want to break all the records for pre-sale. So if you've got it in you, then go to the Amazons right now and get on the pre-sale. Just go ahead and do it. You're going to buy the book anyway. Do it in the pre-sale so that we can really be way up in those charts. We're already crushing. We're in the top 22,000 books across the board right now, which is pretty freaking cool. And we're trending on multiple different like law enforcement books and comedy. It's already trending, and the book hasn't even come out yet. So you guys are really going to enjoy it. Pig Latin, a seriously funny, true story. Also coming up on Failure to Stop, we did the show last week about a murder on campus, or the week before, with my old training officer who wrote a book called A Murder on Campus, the Professor, the Cop in North Carolina's Most Notorious Cold Case. Now, this book's getting a lot of attention right now. This is a book written by detectives about an actual cold case, doing real true crime. And right now they've got some like major crazy leads, but there's more. So check this out. Do you remember when we did the Daniel Holtzclaw case? Here, we did a 3-episode saga on Daniel Holtzclaw. I truly believe with 100% of my heart, if it was 99%, I would not be advocating for a new trial for Daniel Holtzclaw. If there was even a 1% chance, but 100%, I believe that Daniel Holtzclaw is innocent. And I presented a lot of evidence over a few hours with JC Santana. And they are going to take on the case. He's already been talking to the DA. He's talking to other FBI profilers, and he is all in. He was like, dude, out of all the research I've done, that we've done together, the podcasts I've listened to, I believe this guy's 100% innocent as well. So it looks like we might even be flying out to Kansas City to do some interviews. So you're not going to want to miss that. If you haven't, go back. And that was in the early Failure to Stop days, where I was just doing this by myself, and those early days, right when Mike the Cop left. So if that's interesting to you, just, don't kind of ignore the audio. It was crummy. I was a new baby podcast owner, I guess, or producer owner. This before we had all the producers and editors that we have now. So, but head over, listen to the Daniel Holtzclaw cases in detail. Let me know what you guys think going into that, but I'm really excited about that case. Now, let me also say today's show is brought to you by ghostbed.com. Good night's sleep starts with a ghost bed. Mental health, mental wellness starts with a ghost bed. Probably wouldn't be in the situation that this homeboy is going to be in today, either one of them, if they were sleeping on a ghost bed, because nobody's got time for that shit when they're getting a good night's sleep, when you're well rested and you're thinking about things. Clearly, you don't make those kinds of mistakes. Thank God that these cops had a good night's rest in both of these stories, because at least they're alive. I'll tell you that. I don't want to spoil any of these shows. So head over to ghostbed.com right now. Valentine's Day is coming. Get that gift. Lay her in a bed tonight, baby. Tie her up and never, ever let her go. I don't remember where that song came from. I did not make it up, but it is a song that I have cherished for a very long time. Head over to ghostbed.com right now. Use the promo code Wolfpack50. Sleep so good it's scary. Ooh. Also, we got factormeals.com/Wolfpack50. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now on Failure to Stop for everybody to hear. I hate fat cops. I'm going to say it. It makes me angry. I saw multiple videos today of fat cops. I was looking up hostage videos because I saw this video. I saw another video, and I went down a rabbit hole of hostage videos. And there's one where a man has a baby as a hostage, and this fat fucking cop can't figure out his ass from his elbow, and the suspects ends up picking up a child, running with the child, throwing the child in the officer's cop car, getting in the cop car, and trying to run away. Fat cop tries to get this guy out of the car, successfully does that, and the guy takes off running, and fat cop tries to chase him. The whole hood is laughing. It's embarrassing. It's a viral video. Don't be a fat fucking cop. If you're a fat fucking cop, fix yourself. Fix yourself. It is your duty. What are you doing? I get it. Life happens and you get fat. I've been fat. Not while I was a cop. That was right when I stopped. When I quit being a cop, I ballooned up, about 30, 35 pounds. And I had to get a hold of it. I get it. Like, life happens, but you cannot serve the people if you cannot first serve yourself. How can you serve your family if you can't serve? If you're out of breath tying your shoes, how are you going to be a good father? You got to get your weight under control. Get it under control. Do it for your family, but more importantly, do it for the community. No, wait, hang on. Do it for the community, but more importantly, do it for your family. Factor Meals can help you. Go to factormeals.com and start meal planning right now. Just get the calorie conscious. Just start there. Less calories every day. You can do breakfast and lunch and dinner, lunch and breakfast, however you want to do your meal plan so that you're not going to fast food restaurants and getting all these processed, disgusting foods that are just going to make you fat and slow and ridiculous looking in a uniform and an embarrassment to everybody, including yourself, which is the most important person you should not be embarrassed in front of. Like, you should be happy with what you see in the mirror. And if you're not, you should fix that. Head over to factormeals.com right now. Listen, if you're already lean and mean like me, I'm lean and mean now, baby. I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 15 years. That's protein heavy. That's because I go protein heavy now. I was calorie conscious for like a year. Now I'm protein heavy. Protein. Head over to factormeals.com/Wolfpack50. Start your meal planning to the next level. Thank God that today's cases do not involve fat cops. They don't. They don't involve fat cops. And why does that matter? You're going to see here in a few minutes. Now, I want to bring up one more thing. If you're not following us over on Fox News, that is where all the news that we used to do on this channel is now over on this. This is strictly first responder and law enforcement content on Failure to Stop. If you want all the political news and the sports news from multiple different hosts, go over to Fox News. We're killing it over there. We are bringing some of the top, best insider news with real insider. We've already broke a case that YouTube went and took away, and it's a 100% factual case. It's just they don't want it leaked because another DEI hire allowed a firearm. So I don't want to get this taken down again, but a firearm made it near Congress in the last 2 weeks. And it was absolutely a DEI hire that was responsible for it. So with that, I talked to a chief today. In the military, and he's a helicopter pilot. And I was trying to learn more about this helicopter issue that went down. And now you can follow this at Fox News, FAWKES News. For you listeners, FAWKES as in Guy Fawkes. Fox News, FAWKES News. And I asked him in passing, like after I got all my information that I wanted from him, I just said like, hey, so have things changed in the military since Donald Trump took office? And this is what he said to me. And I'm giving this an exclusive on Failure to Stop right now before I get in this case breakdown, because I think it's important, and it's important for today's case. But he says, man, I've never, in the 25 years that I've been serving in the military, I have never seen more changes happen so fast. He said, we had a meeting today where the meeting said that if there is any DEI pamphlets, papers, posters, anything visible in any station in the United States, that they are supposed to be taken off the wall today. So him being a chief, he had to go through tons of barracks and make sure and inspect that all DEI, including pride flags, all of it had to go away. I think they were only allowed to have American flags or don't tread on me flags. Don't quote me on the don't tread on me flag, but I think that's what he said. If I'm remembering correctly in our conversation, we talked about a lot. So DEI ends overnight in the military. And he says, good. I said, how do you feel about that? He says, it's great because we don't need diversity in the military. We need everybody to be the same in the military. That's the point of our uniform. That's the point of our boot camps, our basic trainings. Also, the commandant of the Coast Guard was evicted today. At midnight on the 20th, she was relieved of all of her duties as far as it goes for the Coast Guard, and Donald Trump himself gave her 3 months, 90 days to vacate her home that's provided by taxpayers in D.C. She had 90 days to vacate. Today, the FBI showed up to the house and said, you have 3 hours. Get your ass out. He says it's all happening oh so fast. So why do I talk about DEI when we're supposed to be doing a case breakdown? And it's because my opinion on DEI is this. If you cannot do the job, then you don't need to be in the job, period. And especially in law enforcement and especially in the military. I hear a lot of guys love to talk about, I hate women policing. All right, I say I hate fat people in policing. And I understand where you're coming from. Does it mean all fat people are bad? No. Does it mean that they don't mean well? I have fat friends that are cops, actually. I hate it for them that they're fat. I do not hate women cops or female cops. What I hate are women cops who act like women cops. I hate fat cops who act like fat cops. If you're a fat cop and you have stains all over your uniform and you look like a bag of shit, and when you try to chase a bad guy, you can't catch him because you're running like a fat piece of shit, then I can't stand you. I don't like you. If you're a woman, it goes the same way, or anybody else for that matter. But I do appreciate hardworking, dedicated female officers who will go above and beyond to keep up with their comrades. I had a partner like that. Her name is Red. She's in my book. I was blessed to have my other female officer. I don't know if she wouldn't appreciate me saying her name or not, but I'll use her first name, Kelly. She was an amazing police officer, and the two of these female cops really went over and beyond to make sure that they were not a liability and that they could take care of themselves. Now I'm going to show you video today. We're going to break down a case right now. And there's going to be a female officer. And I want, at the end of the video, I want you to say, is that a female cop I want to work with? Is this a DEI hire, or is this the right choice? Is she the right woman for the job? Let me bring on my co-host, former Hawaiian police officer and Ohio police officer, Josh Deadleg from Deadleg Media. Come on in here, Josh. Let me bring you up here. Whoa. What are you reading, Josh?
Well, I was trying to find out if you're allergic to morphine or not, but I guess I'll have to finish that after the show.
Oh, that's a good chapter. That is a good chapter. I am not allergic to morphine. Well, maybe my penis comes out when I'm on morphine. I don't know. You can't finish reading the chapter. My penis may or may not accidentally fall out of its clothing when you start hitting me up with morphine or tequila, one of the two. Josh, it's good to have you tonight. This is going to be a hoot of a breakdown. Hopefully my plane is still just coasting right on to Michigan, and I'm not running into any helicopters flown by DEI. I don't know. I don't even know if the helicopter pilot was a DEI hire or not. I don't know.
That's the lengths that we're willing to go to get the story.
I don't really care.
We'll put Eric on the plane.
Yeah, put me on the plane. I don't really care in that case. That's just such a sad fucking case. That is, and it's an all around, like if you wanted to break it down like we break down, I bet you there are flaws everywhere. I bet you air traffic control had something to do with it. I bet you the airplane itself had something to do with it a little bit, and the helicopter. It's like, because I I'm not going to get into it. We'll save it for FAWKS news. But like where my head has gone, like everybody else was like, oh, I bet it was this DEI hire in the cockpit or of the helicopter. It was this DEI hire air traffic control, and they were understaffed. Blah, blah, blah. But I haven't heard anybody say like the plane. Like, I don't know. You're flying a freaking massive airplane. You got all this training. Like you see, like if I'm driving a car, which I know is different, and I see another car that doesn't look like it's going to stop at the stoplight, I don't just keep going because my light's green. And you've got more flight experience than I do. Could the plane also not be like, damn, that's like, that looks like it's coming in hot.
Yep. We're back.
Is that
should be good?
What? Can you hear me?
Nope. Hang on.
Am I muted?
I don't know what happened to my headphones.
Check. Okay. Well, I'm good.
Give me just
well, anyway, that's where I'm at on this. I don't know. I put blame on everybody, but in this case, we're going to break this whole case down for you real quick here. I'll let Josh get his headphones back in order, but Josh, give me a thumbs up when you can hear me. And the second case that I'm going to show you guys today is why it's so important not to be a fat cop. Let me just do this. Let's start here. We're going to start with the breakdown right now at the 16-minute mark. Where is, now that things have changed overnight, this chief in the military told me overnight, I feel like we're warriors again. Now, do you remember when all this buffoonery started? 2016-ish, right after the Michael Brown, the Ferguson. That's when this whole cancel culture was right after that. All of that just led into, do you remember all the shenanigans? And there were officers, there were supervisors that tried to convince you that you cannot use warrior anymore and that you should switch to protector. And some of you clowns out there actually bit the hook. You took the bait and you were like, you know what? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We're protectors. We're not warriors. And you tried to shame everybody else. And it was all the nerds that got jumped on this. And they were high-ranking nerds because here's what happened. There was a shift. There was a paradigm shift. The pendulum had swung in a different direction. And all the guys who are playing the game, all the supervisors who were playing the game, the climb the ladder game, the office house politics game, they read the writing on the wall and they jumped on the pendulum going the other direction. And they came up with some stupid shit like protector mindset. Guys, this is the most ridiculous mindset. The fact that so many cops, one that I really respected, a real warrior, actually fought in like South America, was like a South American special forces guy in like Guatemala or something before he came to the United States. Badass guy. Really enjoyed this guy. And he was like, yeah, man, I think we go to the protector mindset. I don't want to hear the warrior anymore. We are now protector. And I was like, bro, please tell me. But he doesn't know any better. He has to do that. He has to talk like that because now he's a supervisor and he already has like the whole like, he can't really speak English all that well. You know what I mean? And he's climbing the ranks. Like I get he's got to play the game, but I was so disappointed in him because even back then as a young little cop, I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. This protector mindset, because you cannot be a protector if you're not a warrior. And I like how people are like, well, that's gay. Saying warrior's gay. You're not a warrior. You're not a fucking Navy SEAL. You're a cop. If you're a real street cop, you are doing way more shit than any. I served in special operations for 4 out of the 8 years I was in the military, and I have combat experience as well. And I will tell you that that even in the special ops community, even the tier 1 guys don't get as much operation time as a real street cop gets. You will enter more houses as a street cop in 10 years than a Delta Force operator will do in 30. You think I'm wrong? Go talk to a Delta Force operator. They'll tell you, yeah, a street cop in a big city working in the hood in a high crime area will enter multiple houses every single night of the week. And you will get in multiple conversations and I'm not talking like shootouts and like crazy shit. Like, yeah, I'm not taking away from Delta or Green Berets or SEALs or anything like that. Obviously, like their shit's a lot more intense and there's like a lot more to it, but their ROE is different. Everything is different. But what I'm saying is that you are just as much a warrior as they are. You have just as much opportunity to die as they do. Some guy in the hood can shoot you dead in the face tonight. How many times does a Delta Force operator deploy a year? or a SEAL, deploy your. My point is that yes, you can call yourself a warrior. Now, listen, if you're dancing around, you're like, I'm a warrior, and you got all the tattoos, and you're like, warrior, and you like tell people, you're like, sometimes I kill mosquitoes just to maintain a proficiency and kill. Like you're a poser at that point. I'm not talking about that, but like internally, if you have not convinced yourself that you're a warrior, then get the fuck out of this job. Get the fuck out of the job. I don't want to call you and have you come here and protect me. I want you to come here and fucking save me. I want you to come. If there is a knife to my neck, and we're going to see in this video, I don't want fucking protectors to show up. I want fucking killers to show up. I want warriors, confident, competent warriors that are ready to go to war, and they're ready to put themselves out there and to have balls, baby. I want you to have some fucking balls, and I want you to get shit done. And we have been poisoned from 2016 up until now with protector mindset, with this whole Nancy Pantsy de-escalate everything mindset that you guys have forgot to be fucking killers. And there is a time that some people have to be laid to rest, and it's going to have to come from one of you guys. And I hope to God that this DEI bullshit is over in law enforcement, and that law enforcement goes back to being warriors, and that you guys have the balls that we're not going to play games and make heroes out of thugs and idiots like Michael Brown and George Floyd. The George Floyd Memorial in the city of Raleigh has more fucking cameras and more fucking security than the White House. Try to get a gun into the George Floyd Memorial in Raleigh, North Carolina. Guarantee you're not going to make it happen. Try to skateboard over there. Definitely not going to happen. We weren't even skateboarding there. We were skateboarding on the sidewalk going past it, and fucking Capitol police officers were swarming up on us. And my kids are like 7 and 9 years old. But what I'm saying is that this shit that we're going to talk about today is the warrior shit. If you're not training, if you're not becoming the best shooter, if you're just going for the status quo, you're doing your PT test and your night qual and your day qual, and that's it, get the fuck out of the job. We don't need you. You're a waste of space. If you're a community police officer and you want to go out and kiss baby, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you. We don't want you to try to speak the language of civilians. We want you to go in there and stop the crime, decrease the crime rate, make it safe. Make it safe so that when my wife goes to Piggly Wiggly, she doesn't have to walk by two homeless guys fucking sword fighting. Because those homeless guys know if they fuck around, they're going to find out. And their family's not going to get just $1 million payout for it. I hope the days of pussy policing are over. Just like this guy told me today that he says it's so refreshing. I feel like we're back in the military again. It's not a clown show. Overnight, the clown show ended. And I hope it's that way for policing. Now, this case happened a few years ago. It's happening out of Salt Lake City. I'm going to play it for you, Josh. Let me set the tone for you really quick. By the way, this happened in 2020. So the Civil Review Board, the Civilian Review Board, as if that fucking matters. And I hope every police department defunds the fuck out of the civilian review boards. Because that shit's got to be over. Let's get it the fuck over with. These fucking nerds, these nincompoops. It would be like if I sat on a civil review board for a doctor or a hospital to review a surgery that went bad. Like, I would be a nincompoop. I would be a dumbass. I would be an idiot because you can't even fathom to understand what that's like or what that job entails. Is my mic still on, or did I knock it?
Yep. Nope. You're still good. So you know who doesn't have a review board? The criminals. What? I don't remember a criminal review board. I don't remember them sitting around going, "Oh, well, we need to stop shooting each other, fellas. This drug dealing thing's gonna get out of kind of hand." And we nicked that 12-year-old down the street, and then it's not a good look for us. They don't have a civil review board. Wouldn't that be nice if you had a criminal review board to just make sure the sentencing was right? A civil reviewer to judge the jurors to make sure that they got it right. Like, that's how ridiculous a civil reviewer. But anyway, I'm going to go off the civil review board summary because I want to rub it in the civil review board's face. I guarantee you all these liberal left-wing pussies wanted these cops to have something wrong, and they did the civil review, and they're like, fuck, man, they did a, well, I'm not going to tell you what kind of job they did. The Salt Lake City DA's office, along with the OICI team from West Valley Police Department, conducted a review of this matter
As noted below, portions of the DA's letter are used within the documents. That's what the documents that I'm pulling off of. So this happened on July 25th of 2020 with Officer Saydeshran Mansorbegi. Saydeshran Mansorbegi. And Officer Dorothy Rose, one word, Wild. Which I'm going to be honest with you, when I saw that this was Dorothy Rose Wild, I thought there's no way I'm Googling that name. There's no way that that's not a porn name. If I type in Dorothy Rose Wild, I'm going to get some kinky shit up on the computer. I didn't, actually. I didn't. I Googled it. Let me show you a picture of Dorothy Rose Wild. Holy shit, there's Dorothy Rose Wild. She looks wild, dude. She looks like, I bet you she ropes. I bet you she ropes and reins. I bet you she rides one of those horses. She runs around the barrels, and she probably fucking lassos calves and sheep and shit. I don't know. She just looks the type to me. Let's take a look at what happened with Dorothy Rose Wild from Salt Lake City. Let me play the case for you. Here we go.
Hey. It's not worth it, dude.
Whoa. Eric. Fucking, let's start that over. Here we go. So the first little bit doesn't have audio for you listeners out there. For you listeners out there, looks like we're in front of, some kind of a marketplace grocery store. We're on the side of a market, and you've got two homeless guys walking down the sidewalk. They've been in an affray. Multiple witnesses have called in. Actually, I think somebody stole something. Let me go back here really quick. Let me get you the totality of this. On July 25th, 2020, Saydeshran Mansorbegi and Officer Dorothy Rose Wild were called to Smith's grocery store. This is in Salt Lake City. On the sidewalk to south of the store, they encountered Mr. Preece and Emmanuel Valentino Montes, both who recently had been inside the store. Mr. Montes appeared to be intoxicated, and Mr. Preece held him by the scruff of his neck as they walked. Mr. Preece held a large Bowie knife in his right hand. So that's what the call is that we got. This Officer Mansorbegi approached them in and ordered them to stop. So let's play the video. So that's what we've got here. And I believe, as I read further in the civilian review board, that who called 911 was the grocery store's product control, or quality control, not quality control, but
assets protection people, security
protection.
Drop the knife and hey, I will tase you if you don't stop.
So let me just start with the tone from Mansorbegi here. This is where we've gotten at in policing, that he's not even fucking surprised. Mansorbegi here, and I apologize for butchering your name, brother officer here. I don't know how else to Mansorbegi. Mansorbegi. Mansour, so Mansour, Beigi. So Mansorbegi. Mansorbegi is like, God, put the knife down, man. Like, I'm gonna tase you. They must deal with this shit all day long because sanctuary city shit, because of just not giving a fuck. Police officers have no morale anymore, and people are just doing shit like without any consequence at all whatsoever. So like the fact that these homeless people can't just be homeless, like now they got to do like homeless shit, like weird crazy shit, because they don't think that anybody's gonna, because Mansorbegi is just gonna show up and be like, come on, dude, put the fucking knife down. Like, are we serious? And I love the attitude, but like it's sad too, because 10 years ago Mansorbegi would have been like, drop the fucking knife. You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking want to go down this road, motherfucker? Like, I will splatter your brains all over the fucking sidewalk. And everybody would be like, hell yeah, dude. Like, USA. But we can't do that. Now it's got to be like de-escalation. Like, hey, Mr. Homeless guy, piece of shit, who's fucking contributed not very much to society, who's running this Mexican dude around by the scruff of his neck, holding a Bowie knife, walking through a grocery store as if that's okay. Put the knife down. I'm in a mood tonight, Josh.
Vigilante security.
Now he's dual wielding. For those of you who are just watching, what we have now is we have a cop that is dual wielding. He's got non-lethal taser. Well, it could be lethal taser, depending. If you ask the civilian review board, they probably call it lethal. But for us law enforcement people, it's non-lethal. And then he's got the gun in his right hand. So he's dual wielding, but he's gonna, and that's that kind of continuum you get stuck in. You're like, it's a knife. like he doesn't have the knife up to the guy. So like, let's try taser, but like, oh shit, no, taser's not right for a knife. We should probably go for a gun. But it also looks good because it shows that he's going through his force continuum here. I got no problem with it, but probably just should have went with just the gun. But he fixes it very quickly. I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback the guy.
He's got a hostage.
Calls out he's got a hostage, puts the taser away. And now we hear Dorothy Rose Wild. Here comes Dorothy. Now, I want you to think about this. All you guys who say, man, I hate fucking women cops. I fucking hate them. Women shouldn't be cops. If this is your backup, how do you feel?
Put the knife down, dude.
Put it down.
Put it down.
All units, be advised, channel 2 is now restricted emergency traffic only, 927.
Put it down.
I guarantee you, dude. I promise you. Look, I don't make promises I can't keep. I don't make promises I can't keep. I promise you that. Hey, look, dude, it's not worth it.
Hey.
It's not worth it, dude.
Look, this is. Fuck.
Dude, it's not worth it. Put it down. I guarantee you, dude. I promise you. Look, I don't make promises I can't keep. I don't make promises I can't keep. I promise you that. Hey, look, dude, it's not worth it.
Hey.
It's not worth it, dude.
Now, is that who you want coming to save you? I mean, the balls on this chick, on Dorothy Rose Wild, absolute the balls. So this girl shows up. Her sight picture is like the size of a fucking 25-cent piece. She's at least 20 yards? Maybe not 20, but she's 15 yards out.
She's far enough to miss.
She's far enough to miss, and she takes a shot. Now, listen, so I was watching the YouTube video on this, and it was so pathetic. People were like, wow, like, I can't believe she missed that many times. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. She missed that many times, or I wouldn't want a chick like that taking shots at me. Like, how do you know she missed? Because the autopsy comes back that there's 2 shots in a very tight shot group in his right shoulder, and then 2 more right above it in his neck. Now, if I'm taking that shot, I'm definitely I mean, obviously you're shooting left, right? Because you have to shoot left of the other dude's fucking head. And then you're probably going to even squeeze further left so that you don't take any shot, like chance of hitting. I mean, look at the fucking dude. This, guys, if you're not watching this video, go to our YouTube. Make sure you smash the subscribe button and hit the ring-a-ding-ding bell. But I want you to fast forward to the 33-minute mark of the YouTube video, and I want you to see the sight picture that this chick, it's very tiny. And I'm going to take it back. I'm going to go 20 yards. I'm going to go 20 yards. Think about your quals at 20 yards. That sight picture is like shooting a 25-cent piece through those little Trijicon sights she's got there. No, she had a Trijicon sights. I don't know what she's got, but
I don't think people understand how hard it is to hit a target with a pistol. For just shoot a pistol, the difference in the length of the barrel, how effective it is, and there's a whole lot more that goes into shooting a pistol than shooting a rifle. But at this distance, we've covered how many of these that they have literally mag dumped each other at this distance and not hit anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we watched a dude mag dump the back of a car for Acorn and not hit anything. Yeah. She's 20 feet away, and every one of her shots are not only on target, but they're on target. They're tight shot groups.
And she's walking forward.
And she's calm. Her breathing's there. They're in control of the situation. Like, I would say this is textbook, but this is kind of textbook. This is what you would want to have happen. The good guys win. The bad guy didn't.
There are dudes that would never take that shot because they don't have a warrior mind. This chick has a warrior mindset. through and through. She is confident, she is competent, and she's ready to lay motherfuckers down. Are you? Are you, fat cop? Are you cop that's addicted to pornography and video games? Are you mentally prepared to show up to work and to fire at a 25-cent piece with somebody else's life on the line? If this woman hit that other guy, it would have been the shots heard around the world.
Please
she put all of that behind her. She took her breaths in and she put rounds perfectly downrange into this dude. By the way, there was 11 shots fired total. The coroner's office pulled out 5 whole rounds and several fragmented rounds that were throughout his body. So, you know, we're talking 50% at least hit here. It is hard to tell which round she missed. So it looks like this first round hits him in the shoulder. If I had to guess. Watch. Okay, so that round looks like it hit him. Because, I mean, his whole shoulder, his whole body drops. She takes a second shot as he stands up. So it's almost like a boxer move. I think she misses the second one. Because, you know, she shoots right where she had the sight picture of him hunched over. And he stands up as she's squeezing that next round off. And I think she missed that round. So she takes another one. That hits him right in the shoulder, too, because it squares him up right in the collarbone. And he's going to let go of the hostage. And he's yelling, op, op. And now she's putting more rounds up. So all these people on the YouTube that are like, oh, she fucking missed the first 3 or 4 shots. She didn't miss. She didn't miss. And then Mansauer Burger, he gets in when he has a clear sight shot. So these 2 cops absolutely did a great job. But I want to go back to the female cops. I would take Dorothy Rose Wild. I'll say it right now. I'd marry her and I'd make her my partner for life. I mean, that's the kind, you know what I'm saying? If I was a single dude, this would be my girl. I'd be afraid of her though. I mean, but I mean, look at this, no nonsense B right here, dude. So whenever if you got this stigma in your head that you hate women cops, I mean, you hate a lot of them. And I like the ones with the fucking nails, the clacky nails, like you're not ready to do work with your little stupid fake clacky nails. The ones with all the multicolored hair, you're not ready to do work either. Yeah, I get it. You can hate those, right? But you can't hate all the women in policing. There's a lot of bad ones, but there's a lot of bad fat guys too. And there's some big fat cops that can handle their weight. They're still in shape. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the fat cops that act fat, they got like fucking stains all over the shit that they run like this, you know, with their head all cocked back. Absolutely disgusting human beings. That's what we don't want. But I really like this video from 2020. Let me go ahead and finish up the review board. I want to show one more video to you guys. We're having fun here. Both Officer Mansauer BG and Officer Wild order Mr. Preece to drop the knife and release Mr. Montez after Preece failed to follow several commands from both officers. Officer Wild fired her duty weapon at Mr. Preece, followed closely by Officer Mansauer BG, who also fired his weapon. It appears 4 to 5 shots were fired at Mr. Preece while he was still holding Mr. Montez from behind. Those were all from her. And then the remaining shots were fired as Mr. Montez pulled away from Mr. Preece. Now, let me go down to the, Mr. Preece is presumed complainant in this matter, but died of his wounds and could not provide any insight into his actions. So suspect in the case dies here. That's great. Love to see it. And that's one less that you guys will have to worry about in the future. And hopefully Mr. Montez or whatever his name was, Mr. Montez, hopefully he gets a second look at life and he changes his wicked ways and becomes a productive, useful person in society. LM said that they entered the store. She asked the men to put on COVID masks as per store policy. Neither complied, said that she would tell the men who would be a handful because of their demeanor. LM said that they looked like they were high on something. LM said that's loss prevention, said one of the men would stop walking and sway back and forth. So we're talking about fentanyl here. The other man would breathe through his mouth and stare ahead. So yeah, both these guys are on fucking fent. I want to get to the autopsy here. They say the same thing over and over and over again. Autopsy. Dr. Krahibel Krabel. Oh, maybe it's just Krabel. Krehbiel, with the Utah Office of the Medical Examiner, performed the autopsy of Mr. Preece. Dr. Krabel observed 5 gunshot wounds in Mr. Preece's body and recovered projectiles from inside Mr. Preece's body, along with several other fragments. Dr. Krabel noted 2 gunshot wounds were to Preece's front right side of his right shoulder. So those are the 2 that I pointed out that you can like pretty much visibly see. Striking him. 1 gunshot wound was on the left side of Preece's chest, and 2 gunshot wounds were in his neck and collarbone area, traveling left to right. So those were from her gun because she was on the left. Can't shoot from right to left. So there you go. That's the case right there. A little bit sour today, but I'm just a little bit jazzed up after talking to the chief. And I feel like there's some new blood, and we can now say some different things on podcasts.
Well, I would say like we got our balls back, but it's in style for DAs to do their job and actually hold people accountable for their actions. And if you break the law, you spend a little bit of time in jail. I'm just going to point out, if you're in jail, you cannot re-offend outside of jail. Usually it's physically impossible because you're incarcerated. So you cannot get another charge for, let's say, driving a motor vehicle that's stolen when you're on kitchen duty. So it's got that feeling back. It's that weird feeling. Like I want to say, like when I've gone out a couple times this weekend, we were down in Denver, and there's just less, I would say street people, but less street people. Like the guys that would come out in the middle of the road and try to squeegee your windows if you're at a stoplight, or the guys come out and try to sell you the roses and stuff like it. They just magically,
everybody's got their balls back.
It's just gone.
But with that, with getting your balls back, you got to get the warrior mindset back before you start going out running and gunning. You got to get your shit back, and you got to get in shape. You've got to be a shooter. And you've got to get your shit together, because if you're going to go out there and do lion shit with lions, you better be a fucking lion when you get out there, as cheesy as that says. But listen, let me show you this other case here. Play this video for you. This is so disturbing. So at 2:38 p.m., officers responded for a suspicious person call in Fair Lakes. An unknown caller made statements to our dispatch center that he had already killed 2 people.
This was nuts.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. So here's another angle.
On the dashboard.
You stuck? No. Give me your hand.
What the fuck?
That went from 0 to 9,000
You all right?
instantly.
So for those of you who are just listening, there is a cop car parked in the middle of the road, and another cop car backed into a parking space. And a hooded fella with a mask around his face, a balaclava mask, takes off sprinting from about 25 yards out, sprints around the cop car that's just parked out in the middle of the roadway, obviously trying to find this guy who murdered 2 people. And the other cop that had backed in sees this. So he jumps out, and as the guy tries to open the cop car's door, so I guarantee you the cop inside the car was probably like looking at a map or something and probably didn't even see him coming up. And he chases after the guy, and the guy pulls out a knife, and the cop tries to run away. I don't know why, but then the man chases him, and the cop slips. It's wintry. He slips on the roadway, gets up, and immediately goes out for the hand that has this probably 4 to 5 inch knife, like almost switchblade style knife. And they go to fight, and luckily this cop has this guy off balance, and he's able to slam him onto the asphalt. But I will tell you this, the cop is lucky, because this cop has 0 training when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. I can already tell. And this is a win, and I'm so happy. Let's watch it again real fast. Here the guy comes. He's standing just kind of chilling. And he turns around, and he takes off running towards the cop car. And now he's going to try to get the cop. And the guy pulls out his blade, and the cop tries to run away. I like this. This is a better view.
This one just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Stay down. You stuck? No.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say that he doesn't have any training. It would be so difficult to fight somebody with a knife. Because you're going to get cut, you're going to get stabbed. I mean, this cop basically did exactly the right thing in this scenario. Obviously he probably could have went and while the guy was on the ground, go ahead and jump down on top of him, get a little knee on belly there. I'm not sure why the cop ran away.
I think it's just because it shocked him. Because
shit.
Like normally,
that's not a lot of time to think. That is not a lot of time to think about.
And then think of all the times that you've dealt with like people. They start running towards you, and you're like, all right, if we're doing this, let's go. And then usually they're like, okay, we're done. This guy's like, okay, let's go. Let's keep going. And then the cop kind of backs up. It's like, all right, well, give me a second. Let me get some distance to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
That guy's like, well, you said we're on, so let's go. And he continued to close that distance. And it was one of those like
nuts. Like, what a terrifying incident. And I'm so glad this cop was like in the fight though. Like, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the warrior mindset. Like in the fight, like this cop was like, fight or flight. And then he was like, no. It's got to be fight. I've got to fight. And at least the cop was able to get to work on this guy. Why he doesn't just stomp this dude's face in afterwards. He does get a grip on a sleeve, which is great. And he's trying to get the other sleeve. And the guy's head just fucking slams off that asphalt. I think it knocks him out, actually. But there ain't no way I'm not stomping on that dude's head 3 or 4 times before I go into handcuffing. And then the cop gets down on his back and does some good work. But wow, what an adrenaline-filled. Again, guys, like I want you to be prepared out there on the streets with this warrior mindset. I know it's kind of cheesy to talk about. And for whatever reason, cops start getting offended these days. When did cops start getting offended when you started telling me? Like in the last 4 years, I got so many messages of people like, oh, the fucking warrior mindset, like, calm down, John J. Rambo. And I'm like, I don't know, man. When I first joined law enforcement in 2012, we went to work like you were going to war.
Well,
like
the thing is
before to work, you were like getting your mind right. You did dry fires, you worked out, you stretched, you made sure your boots were good. Like you were ready for fucking battle. You weren't just like walking in like, oh, I'm gonna go write some things tonight. And you know what I mean? Like, no, you were getting your head right.
Regardless of like the policies, civilian review boards, or like politics, the job has not changed. You're still dealing with the same idiots out there that don't want you to stop them from what they're doing. So when you're going out there and dealing with these people, that has not changed. So we're going to go out there and think that, oh, we need to not be this. Well, if we're not going to go out there with a warrior mindset, then don't take your gun. Don't take your vest. Don't take any of the other stuff that you take to be prepared. Don't take your AED. Don't take your gas mask. Don't take an EpiPen.
Like how Bobbies, is that how Bobbies do, please?
But don't take any of the things that you have trained to use, trained for the worst, but you hope for the best. That's what law enforcement is. The biggest difference that, like when you're in the beginning of the show, you're talking about between Delta and a street cop going to see that look 10, 15 times a shift of unknowns. If you do nothing but traffic stops all shift, every one of those traffic stops is an unknown risk traffic stop. That could be a shootout. Every one of those traffic stops could be a shootout. You're a Delta Force operator and you're about to hit a target. You know that that's a target. You know that there's a bad guy or bad guys or bad gals behind. You've prepared. You've pulled.
Which might be even scarier, to be honest with you, because you know what the monster is. You're like, oh god, and you still got to go. At least like.
But you're bringing your boys. You know that you've got your boys with you. You know you got your backup. You know you got your QRF. You know you got all that stuff. When you hit the lights to pull a car over for running a stop sign or running your speeding, or you pull up on this unknown trouble call that someone says they just killed 2 people, and then they're going to. Someone just killed 2 people and then they called the cops. What are you asking for a taxi ride to jail? What do you expect is going to happen? The cops are going to go there, find 2 dead bodies, and they're going to have to hold someone accountable for that. You're not going to send the HUD police there.
Yeah.
You have to send warriors. You have to send people that are willing to go to the ends of the earth. The people that are putting their badge on every day and they're going out there, their loved ones, the thing is, what the people don't understand, the biggest difference between law enforcement, first responder, but this job and like any other job. Yeah, if you're a teacher, something could happen to the school. Or yeah, if you're work at the grocery store, something could happen. Like there's stuff that could happen. But in law enforcement, there are people actively trying to kill you just because you're wearing a uniform. That's it. Nothing else. There's no other job on the face of the earth that's like that. And we have to go out there and go, hey, man, hey, get your cell phone out. Let me take all these pictures of you, man. Hey, man. And all of a sudden you got a knife in the back of your head. Yeah. You have to be willing to go out. You can't send.
I mean, what a tribute though. Like, I hope I have friends that when they see some dude run up on my cop car and I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at the map or I'm trying to look at details of the call. This it was like, without even hesitation, this guy just runs out and he was like, not today, motherfucker. And then he's like, oh shit. Then he like has to run away from the guy. What a mess that's in. But I'm so glad that the cop came out on top. And, if you're going to the gym every day, that's good. That's fine. I would suggest, though, instead of going to the gym and crushing weights, that you go and find some kind of Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or some kind of control technique gym, maybe even boxing. But because it gives you something that you can't get off of the streets. I actually was joking with a guy the other day, and the guy was like, I don't care how much you've been training jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, like you do that at my house, I would beat your ass. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, I would never even think about it. But in my brain, I was like, yeah, but you wouldn't beat my ass. Like, I'm just telling you right now, it was like a 0% chance that you're beating my ass. You might think that you're going to see red and beat my ass, but you're not. And if you're a cop and you have that kind of confidence, it goes a long way in these jobs, and it allows you to do your job a lot better and a lot easier. You can deal with stress a lot better. Your home life is a lot better. And you cannot get that kind of stress-induced training outside of, in my opinion, BJJ or even Muay Thai, like or boxing. When I'm on the mat for Muay Thai, all I'm trying to do is like not get kicked in the face, and so like everything goes out the window. I mean, like some of these dudes will knock your fucking head off when you're sparring. You know what I mean? You take one wrong kick, dude, you're leaving with a broken jaw. Jiu-jitsu is even worse because like you're trying not to get fucking choked out. Or trying, get knee barred or arm barred or, whatever. And, so these are stress things that you can't create that stress outside of those environments. And you're getting a good, healthy workout. You're getting your cardio in, and you're only there for about an hour and a half max. And, I really, really encourage guys to ditch the regular traditional gym membership and start training. If you are doing traditional gyms, I hope that you're also dry firing. It doesn't matter if you're training BJJ or Muay Thai or you're just going to the gym. I hope you're doing your dry fires. I hope you're doing your dry fire. And I hope that you are going to the range and putting bullets down range. Because you never know when you're going to get put in a Dorothy Rose Wild situation where you're going to take the shot of a lifetime. I don't know how this shot didn't go super viral. I mean, God, I want to meet Dorothy Rose Wild. I'm in love. Slow me down, Josh. But I what a perfect shoot. What a great shoot. And then this homie over here in Fairfax or whatever it was, I absolutely want a partner like him, where it's like if I'm typing, I don't have to worry, dude. That's so much less stress to you, that knowing that my boy's got my back no matter what. Like he's gonna leave his cop car at a full sprint into the unknown. And he's like, slapping the bull on the ass and then taking off the other direction. But you know what I mean? Like that's solid. And I would be that would be a forever friend. I would be like, dude, because all you gotta have to do is open the door and you're in your seatbelt and just, I mean, dude, you could be really fucked up. And he put his life out there, dude, like how he didn't get stuck. How did he not get stuck? And how did he have the composure not to just stomp the fucking brains out of that guy. All around, I give both of these cops a 10 out of 10 performance. You guys are heroes. Congratulations. If anybody know these cops, let them know that Eric Tansey, author of Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story, says, hey, 10 out of 10. I was entertained. I was informed. And I thought you guys did a smash job. Head over to Amazon right now and grab Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story of former police officer Eric Tansey and Nick Palmachano. Comes out this fall, August 26th, but order it now so we can break all the records. Don't forget to pay attention to our Instagrams. It's going to be such a fun weekend this weekend with Mike the Cop, other influencers might be showing up too. It's going to be just a really cool weekend. As long as my plane doesn't crash, I will be in Michigan tomorrow at 11. If somebody wants to meet up for coffee and you're in the Detroit area of Michigan, DM me at Eric Tansey Official. And let's see if I can squeeze some coffee, or maybe you can come by the studio and see what we're shooting and all the video stuff that we're doing. So, Josh, thanks for coming on this evening. You guys have an awesome weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Guns up, giddy up. Take us out of here, Josh.